Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, you can't escape the cycle of debt? Like you pay off one credit card just to max out another one? If you're here right now, you probably know that suffocating feeling of being trapped in a financial hole that just keeps getting deeper. And I need to tell you something. The reason you can't get out of debt might have nothing to do with how much money you make. It has everything to do with the psychological patterns that keep pulling you back in. You finally pay off that credit card. You feel this incredible sense of relief, like you can finally breathe again. You promise yourself this is it, you're never going back into debt. But then something happens. Your car breaks down. Or maybe nothing dramatic happens at all. You just see something you want and tell yourself you deserve it after working so hard to pay off that debt. And just like that, you're back where you started. The guilt is overwhelming. You beat yourself up for not having more discipline, for falling into the same trap again. You look at other people who seem to handle their finances just fine and wonder what's wrong with you. Why can't you just stop? You start believing that maybe you're just bad with money, that this is who you are, that some people are meant to be in debt forever. But here's what's really happening. You watch your bank account grow after paying off that debt, and instead of feeling secure, you feel anxious. That money sitting there feels wrong somehow. Part of you is just waiting for the other shoe to drop, for something bad to happen that'll wipe it all out anyway. So unconsciously, you find a way to spend it before life takes it from you. What you're experiencing is called a debt identity, and it's connected to financial self-sabotage. Your brain has gotten so used to being in debt that it actually feels uncomfortable when you're not. Debt has become your normal, and when you start to break free from it, your subconscious mind freaks out and finds ways to pull you back to what feels familiar, even though that familiar place is painful. Let me tell you about David. He's a sales rep, makes good commission, has months where he brings in serious money. But David is 42 years old and has been in debt since he was 23. He's paid off and racked up debt probably 15 times in those 20 years. He'll get a big commission check, pay off everything, feel amazing for about 2 weeks, and then slowly start spending again. Within 3 months, he's back in debt. David's therapist helped him realize something shocking. David's dad left when he was 12, right after the family had finally paid off their house and things were looking good financially. In David's child brain, he connected financial stability with abandonment. So now, as an adult, whenever David starts to achieve financial stability, his anxiety skyrockets. He unconsciously sabotages himself back into debt because debt feels safer. It's messed up, but it makes perfect sense when you understand the psychology behind it. David doesn't have an income problem. He doesn't even have a spending problem in the traditional sense. David has an identity problem. He sees himself as someone who's in debt. It's part of his story, part of who he believes he is. Every time he starts to write a new chapter where he's debt-free, something inside him says that's not who you are and pulls him back. The debt isn't just a financial situation, it's become his comfort zone. While you're stuck in this cycle, you're not just losing money to interest payments, you're losing faith in yourself. Every time you climb out just to fall back in, you reinforce the belief that you can't change, that you're destined to always struggle with money, and that belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But here's what you need to understand. You're not broken. You're not bad with money. You're stuck in a psychological pattern that can be changed once you understand what's really going on. The debt isn't the problem. The debt is the symptom. The real problem is the beliefs you have about yourself and what you deserve. The way out starts with identifying your debt identity. Ask yourself, who would I be without this debt? What would that feel like? For many people, the answer is terrifying. Without the constant crisis of debt, you might have to deal with that unhappy marriage, that unfulfilling career, that loneliness you've been running from. Debt can become a convenient distraction from deeper issues. Start noticing the pattern before it happens. When you pay off debt, pay attention to what you feel. If you feel anxious instead of relieved, if having money in your account makes you uncomfortable, that's a red flag. That's your debt identity kicking in. Instead of acting on that discomfort by spending, sit with it. Journal about it. Understand that this discomfort is just your brain resisting change. Create a new identity.
Stop saying, I'm bad with money, or I'm always in debt. Start saying, I'm learning to manage money better, or I'm breaking the debt cycle. Language matters. Every time you tell yourself the old story, you reinforce it. Every time you tell yourself a new story, you create space for that story to become true. And here's the most important thing: get support. Whether it's a therapist who understands financial psychology, a financial coach, or a support group, having witnesses to your journey makes it real. It makes it harder to slide back into old patterns when you have people watching you grow. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you feel trapped in a cycle of debt that you can't seem to break? Have you paid off debt just to fall right back into it? If what I'm describing has happened to you, drop in "I feel this way" in the comments. You'll realize you're not alone. And if you want to understand more about how your psychology is keeping you stuck financially, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. In the next video, we're going to talk about why you sabotage yourself right when things start going well and how to finally break that pattern. See you then.